Hi quilting friends, I'm Edyta Sitter from Laundry Basket Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window and welcome to our 2025 mystery. Oh, we have done so many mysteries last 5 years, and this one is going to be just as much fun. For next 9 weeks, I'm going to be showing you beautiful blocks. With those blocks, you're going to be able to make our mystery quilt. But also, this year, I have prepared something special for you. Every block can be used to do something even more fun with it. And in the end of the video, I'm going to show you what it is. Oh, I am so excited. Now, to start a mystery, you can use your own fabrics or you can choose from one of our beautiful half-yard cut bundle. The half-yard cut bundle is going to give you plenty of fabric to enjoy yourself and make beautiful blocks. Additionally, to your half-yard bundle, you're going to need a background fabric. On our website, on our blog, you find all the beautiful informations about the fabrics that we have available. I'm going to be working with the Poppy Seed collection, and I am going to be using a pre-cut kit. Yes, this year, for the first time for our mystery, we have a pre-cut kit. So when you get your box with pre-cut kit, you're going to just select one block and you're going to work on that block for that week. Every week, I'm going to be showing you different recipes. They're going to be a surprise. And with those recipes, you can cut your fabrics and piece your blocks from your either pre-cut kit or your bundle. For today, we're going to start up with the first block. And before we start, I just want to go over a few things that we're going to need. We're going to need a rotary. I love my little wooden press. I love for you to have a nice small pair of scissors. We're going to use pins and a touch of glue if you want it to keep our pieces nice and together as we're stitching. I'm going to be using this thread from Orofil 2312. If you would like to use crisp to make your fabrics nice and stiff and beautiful. And I have two rulers, 4.5 by 12.5 and 6.5 inch square ruler, because our blocks, most of them will be 6.5 inch, so it's gonna be perfect for squaring things out. When I'm sewing, I'm gonna be using a Macrotex needle 70, so it's nice and thin. Those are just your basic supplies. If you like to use anything extra, I totally support you guys. I know you have your favorite tools, but you don't need anything more than what I showed you if you would like to. You can piece the blocks by machine, and we're going to be doing a lot of chain sewing and strip piecing as the block's gonna happen for us. Our first block is gonna be made from two color fabrics, light and a dark. I chose light and a green. You can go ahead and look at on our blog different options for the blocks, because you can choose from all different fabrics. But as long you have a light and a dark, two fabrics, you are good to go. Now from your dark fabric, you're gonna cut squares, and the squares going to be 3 inch, and you're gonna cut the squares once diagonally to create half square triangles. So right there, you're gonna cut a square, then cut it once diagonally to create half square triangles. Once you have your half square triangles done, you're gonna go ahead and move on to the light fabric, and from the light fabric, you're going to be cutting squares for the center of the block, and then you're gonna be cutting half square triangles for the outside of the block. So again, cut a square, cut it once diagonally, and then you have two half square triangles. For total fabrics, please go to our website, to the blog, and download the pattern for yourself. Every week, I'm gonna be posting patterns, and my first question for you when we start our blocks, I'm gonna remind you, did you download your pattern? If you did not, go to our website, and that way you have all the information on that page for that week. So I'm gonna keep my page next to me. I'm gonna ask you guys to go to the website, download the pattern, cut your pieces, and let's start the assembly. We're gonna start by placing our square and then placing our half square triangles in dark fabric around our square. This is gonna be our first unit that we're gonna make, and we're gonna start by placing our half square triangles right on the top of the square, center it up. In case you don't know where the center is, you can gently fold this square right here, crease it, and go ahead and do the same thing with your triangle. Be very gentle so you're not stretching this bias edge right here on the half square triangle. Now, once I match both creases, then I know I have this triangle perfectly center up. I'm gonna go ahead and put a pin right here in the middle. I'm gonna then go ahead and stitch straight down. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Place my half square triangle, find the center. You can see how much the bunny ears are sticking on the left and right, the points from your half square triangle. Center it up really nice and go ahead, pin it, and then stitch, pull the pin out as you are stitching, because you do not want to go over your pin with your sewing machine. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna push the seam allowance, and this first seam allowance, we're gonna push it towards the light, towards the center square. We're gonna gently open up, and you can finger press or use your little pressing tool, and you can also go ahead and iron, but I'm gonna just finger press and use this pressing tool to press those first two half square triangle. Then the next, I'm gonna place my remaining two half square triangles just like this, center it up, and again, if you do not see the center, you can go ahead, fold it, crease it. Do you see I match this? Match right there. Open it up. Do the same thing with my half square triangle. And then I'm going to match it up here. It is going to be so nice. And I'm going to put a pin right into it, right there. And then stitch. Do the same thing on this side. Pin, stitch, and now we have our next step where we just finish those two half square triangles, and now we're gonna go ahead and press it beautifully open, and we're gonna move on to sewing our remaining triangles. Before I go ahead and move to that part, I'm gonna go ahead and take my little bunny ears and trim them off right there. Trim it off because you don't want to have extra bulk right there where the next piece is gonna be coming together. You want a nice and smooth seams. Right there. This is so nice. I love my little box to put all my little scraps. Now I'm gonna again finger press it, open it up, then again take my little pressing tool, do the same thing. This time I'm pushing the seam allowances towards the triangles. I'm pushing it towards the outside. I really like doing that. It looks so wonderful. And then also it helps because I don't have much bulk when I have to stitch this area. Now, before I go ahead and place my remaining half square triangles, I'm gonna go ahead and take a ruler. In the pattern, it tells me this unit needs to be finished 4 3/4. I'm gonna go ahead, check. Oh, I did pretty good job. 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. If needed, I'm gonna go ahead and trim it. And with the trimming, I'm also getting rid of those little bunny ears right there. So nicely trim. You want something that is perfect for your next step. Trimming units, trimming blocks is one of the things that I like to do because it helps me make beautiful, beautiful projects. When I'm trimming, I'm paying attention that I have a 1/4 inch from this point to the edge, 1/4 inch right here. And also I'm paying attention that my ruler doesn't move, so that way I accidentally don't trim more than I needed to. Oh, this is wonderful. Now, once I have my center of the unit done, of the block done, I can go ahead and place my half square triangle on the top, then another one on the bottom. Again, you're gonna center it up. This time you can see where the center is of this unit. It's right here where this point is. So all that I'm gonna be doing is just folding the triangle nicely in half, gently crease it. Please don't pull on it because you're gonna stretch and you don't want to do that. And now it's gonna be so nice and easy to go ahead, take a pin and pin it. And sometimes I like to go a little bit more in and pin it right here and kind of point it to that point. So when I'm stitching, I don't even have to move my needle, my pin out. When I stitch, I can see it right there. There is that little point and stitch. Once you go ahead and stitch those two, you're gonna need to stitch 2 more half square triangles on a left and a right. The first seam allowances gonna be pushed this time to the outside, and so are the second 2 seam allowances towards the outside. Now, as you stitching, this is gonna be important that when you sewing right here, when there is a lot of bulk because it's multiple layers coming together, you wanna go ahead and take your time and slow down. Stitch, finger press, and now the block is gonna be ready for pressing with an iron. I really like doing that. Why do I leave the pressing with the iron to the last? Why am I using this tool to press my first seams? Because I don't want to shine up the edges on my seams. I want it to be very gentle. I'm going to be using this crisp, spray it, then press my blocks. As soon as I finish pressing my blocks, I'm going to go ahead and use my 6.5 inch ruler, place it right over and trim it to perfection. So I have beautiful 6.5 by 6.5 inch block. This block is gonna end up in the center of the quilt and few other spots. You're gonna see it on our blog on the layout. For now, you're just gonna place it in a center and then we're gonna be building around. You're gonna make a total of 9 of these blocks, 9 of them, 1 for the center, and you're gonna have 8 of them to go around the quilt later on in the quilt. Now with the first block, I want to now tell you the mystery of this quilt. With every block that I'm gonna be showing you, I'm gonna be showing you how to use the blocks also as your borders. Many times when I do quilts, the most common question is, how can I make my quilt bigger? What are good blocks to make your quilt bigger? So guess what? This year mystery, you're gonna make an incredible, beautiful quilt, and you're gonna learn how to make 9 blocks that are perfect for borders. And I cannot wait to every week share with you another idea for a perfect block for a border. Now, just to show you, look at how pretty those blocks are when you do lay them one next to the other. But to see them around the quilt, I'm gonna invite you to please go back to our blog where you can see the picture how the quilt goes around. One of my favorite designs, a log cabin. Happy quilting, and I look forward to see you next week for another blog for our mystery.